welcome back to my channel. So I am back with another video for you guys. I know it's been a while since I've done like a sit down and talk video, but I am back. If you know, you know. My channel had gotten 2 strikes, y'all, but I finally figured out what was the issue. So if you guys are looking for any of certain editing tutorials and you see that they're gone, I did have to delete a couple of tutorials, but I will make some updated ones if you guys will like that. So let me know in the comments down below if that's something you're looking for. But this video is not about that, y'all. This video, as you see by the title, is how I passed my NCLEX on my 2nd attempt. So let's get into that. I do have some notes on my iPad, so if you see me looking down, that is what I'm looking at. So let me give y'all the little timeline. So I graduated from nursing school in May of this year, 2021, and I scheduled my NCLEX for June, the following month, towards the middle of the month. So my first week after graduating, I just like chilled, hung out with my family, didn't do anything studying related. So then the week after that, that was probably the end of May. At that point, I was like, okay, so now it's time to get studying. I purchased UWORLD. Everyone says get UWORLD. I got UWORLD. And then I was also recommended to listen to the Mark Klimek lectures, if you know who he is. I hope you do, because he's a wonderful resource. But so those were the 2 things that I was doing at the time. I was doing 75 questions a day on UWORLD, and then about every other day I would listen to a Mark Klimek lecture, and I had the notes as well. So, you know, I studied for about, I want to say it was 2.5 weeks my first attempt. So I was using UWORLD and I was using Mark Klimek. So you guys, let me tell you, let me tell you the downfall in that. I was not studying effectively with those resources. I was using UWORLD, I was answering the 75. I'm like, okay, I got like 50% and or more than 50%, you know. I'd be like, okay, I'm fine, you know, that's good. But I wasn't really reading into the rationales, like really trying to understand it. I was really just trying to memorize, like, okay, yeah, okay, for this it's this answer, for that is this answer, rather than like really seeing like what is the reasoning behind it, you know, writing down what I didn't know from that question, and then like reviewing it later on. And then with Mark Klimek, the same thing, y'all. I was just listening to the lectures. I didn't write any notes. I just looked at them and it's like, okay, all right, I got it, you know. But I did not know what I was getting myself into. I really didn't know what to expect, honestly. So now the day of the NCLEX, I did take it in the afternoon the first time. And I thought I was prepared, y'all. Like, I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm fine, I got this. I did what I needed to do, and yeah, so I went in there, and like as the test started, I was like, what? How do I answer these? Like, I was just so confused, y'all, and I feel like test anxiety really got to me as well, and I did not cope well with that. I didn't have appropriate coping mechanisms for that either. And then again, y'all, like something you do not need to do. Do not do this, y'all. Don't do this to yourself. Really, don't do it. Do not go into NCLEX and expect 75 questions. Don't do it, y'all. Because once that the question goes to 76, like everything just changes within you and you're not as focused. And that is something that I did do and I should not have done. I went in there and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get 75. I'm only doing 75 questions. And yeah, when it got to the 75, I'm like, okay, I'm about to be done. Answer the 75th question, and it kept going. I'm like, oh, well, you know, maybe just a couple more questions, and then, you know, it'll stop. Y'all, we got to 80, we got to 90. We got to 100. It asked me for a break. You do get a break every 2 hours. I did not take the break. I said, no, I'm about to be done. I don't need to take a break. It's fine. 120. 125, 130. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really gonna answer all the 145. Y'all, it went all the way to 145. The exam shut off, and then of course at the end you have those survey questions, and I exited out of that. I'm like, no, I'm not doing any survey questions. Y'all, I felt absolutely defeated. Like I was in shock. Like I didn't even know what to feel. Like I know a lot of people say like when you come out of NCLEX you feel like you failed, and I did feel like that, but it was different. It wasn't even like a, oh, you know, at least there were some things I knew and I was able to answer them. Even things that I knew, y'all, I couldn't even answer because I did not review like everything. I didn't do like a review method, I feel like. And I was just like, yeah, I didn't feel good about it at all. I was just like, it's a miracle if I passed. But I was really believing, still like trying to believe like, you know, probably didn't pass, you know, you never know. I know you can pass in 145, y'all. I know that. Don't think that I'm saying that. It's just that like how I felt during the exam, like it wasn't feeling as if like, okay, I answered these and I feel like, you know, I did enough, you know? So I was debating then like if I should do the trick. If you don't know what the trick is, you can look it up. It's a Pearson VUE trick. There are many videos on it. I was debating, should I do it, should I not? I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'll just wait until tomorrow, you know, maybe tomorrow I'll do the trick. The next day came, y'all, and my results were in. Like, I got the candidate report sheet, and you only get that if you failed the exam, and it told me that I failed. And my heart just dropped. I was so like, it was terrible. It was a terrible day, y'all. Like, I cried, of course. I was just so sad, you guys. And you know what? After that, you know, it's okay. I'm gonna get it the next time. I know what I need to do differently. And that gets me into the next part. So, what I did differently this next time around, y'all, I made a schedule. You need to make a schedule, a study schedule for studying for the NCLEX. I feel like that's very beneficial. It's something that you can see in front of you and stick to and can cross off when you do something. Like, I don't know why I didn't do that before, but this time around I definitely did create a study plan, and I used my resources differently. So I still had my UWORLD subscription for like a couple weeks. And then after that I decided that I wasn't going to renew it. I was just going to try a different resource. So I continued using UWORLD. I continued using Mark Klimek. I added on the ATI Comprehensive book. It's a pink book. That key, y'all, if you don't use that, I would use the Saunders book. I do have that as well, but if I was comparing the two, I would use ATI because the Saunders is just, it's too much. It's just a thick book compared to the ATI one. But if that works for you, it works for you. And then I also used two other resources. Archer, that was my second Q bank after my UWORLD expired. And then my I used NCLEX High Yield, y'all. And that podcast and Dr. Zishan, his whole team, like, they are wonderful. Like, literally, I really appreciate them having those podcasts and the YouTube channel. Like, it really helped me so much with content. Like, the method, you guys need to check them out. Like, I'm just gonna leave it in the description box. Like, check them out, y'all, because that really helped me for my exam like none other. But okay, so let me get into that, or get into like what I did differently. So I said I'm using those resources now. I told you I made a calendar and I stuck by it. I would read a section in the ATI book and then do questions on it. About, I was doing 50 to 75 questions a day. Sometimes I did 100 or a little bit more, but it really just depended on how I felt. But I definitely always did at least 50 a day. I felt like I didn't really need to do like 75 every day, or you know, more than that, because I felt like I already did that before. Like, I kind of knew how to pace myself as far as the exam went. And then also my school prepared me for that as well. Like, we did a lot of NCLEX style type of exams and practice stuff. So I was doing that. And also a professor of mine also was a great help as well with tutoring and reviewing content. So I was doing that every week, every day, well, Monday through Friday, I should say. In the beginning, it was 3 days a week, and then as it was getting closer, I did like every day, excluding the weekends, except for maybe Sundays. But that really, really, really helped me. After my UWORLD subscription expired and I was using Archer. Archer is really great, you guys. It's very similar setup to the NCLEX as far as the questions. I feel like UWorld was more wordy with the questions. And then with Archer, the questions are very short, simple, straightforward, to the point, which was very similar to how the NCLEX is. So I really did like that application. They do also have CAT exams on there. I used it probably twice, but it's still like in they're still updating it. So I definitely used their readiness assessments to determine how you're doing. So I would do those every day or every other day, and I did about 6 of those, and I got highs and very highs, and I got 1 borderline, but that was like towards the beginning. So I definitely improved with that, and that definitely boosted my confidence for sure. I used NCLEX High Yield, as I said, y'all, and like I did notes. Like I took notes on all of the lectures. I imported pictures if I needed, and I reviewed them every day, and then I'll do questions. I really loved it. It was really beneficial to me. I also used Mark, as I said before. This time I did write notes. I didn't just listen and just like think it was gonna stay in my head, because that doesn't work for me. I have to write, and it really helped as well. So those resources are definitely a 10 out of 10. You guys need to check it out. Like, check it out, y'all. Check it out. So then I would do affirmations every day, like I am a registered nurse. I am passing my NCLEX. I will pass my NCLEX. I passed my NCLEX. Just remaining positive and confident throughout, and it really did help me, and it boosted me up a lot, and I felt really good about this time around. And yeah, hold on, y'all. Let me see. Am I getting off track? I might be. Okay. So yes, I told you that. I told you my scores on my Archer assessments were high, very high. My new mindset. Okay, so now the second time going in, I studied for it was a month. I would say it was definitely a month. I studied for, so 4 weeks. And then I took my NCLEX this month, August. Y'all, I felt so good. I felt just a lot more better. Of course, I was still nervous, because that's just normal. You just are gonna be. And I went in there, y'all. I used my whiteboard this time, y'all. The first time I didn't even use it. Why? And I just took every question one at a time. I prayed, y'all. Prayer changes things, y'all. Like, I prayed before I got into the exam. Before my first question loaded, I prayed, and throughout the test I was praying, y'all. And it was literally me and God in there, and I did my part and he did the rest. Like, I'm telling you, I was able to, even questions I didn't know, I just felt like using what I knew, and what I reviewed, any tips and tricks that I learned, all the tips and tricks that I learned, I was able to answer the question to the best of my ability. And you guys, the exam stopped at 75, and this time I was not expecting it to stop at 75. When I tell you I was expecting that whole 145, I was really shocked. I was very shocked, and I was just like, oh, okay, it's done. It's done, and I did what I needed to do. I did end up doing the questions at the end, the study case study questions, and then I left, and the next day, literally, my name showed up on the board, and I was bawling, y'all. I was so happy and overwhelmed. Like, it just felt so good to know, all that was not in vain. And I felt like what I did differently definitely did help me the second time around, and I'm just so grateful that now I am a registered nurse. So yeah, that is my experience of the NCLEX. That is how I passed on my second attempt, and what I did differently to do so. What am I missing? Yeah, I mean, if you're taking the NCLEX for your first time, second time, third time, remain positive. You got this. Do what you need to do. Study hard. You can do it. Also remember that the test does not define the type of nurse that you are. It's okay if you don't pass the first time, the second time, the third time, and so on, y'all. Like, it doesn't determine what kind of nurse you're gonna be. We all made it through nursing school, so I know that we can get through the NCLEX and just remain faithful and know that you can do it and you will be a registered nurse. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful to someone. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions about what I've mentioned in the video. I'm definitely going to put all of the resources that I just mentioned in the description box as well. And thank you guys again so much for watching. Also, I got this jacket, you know, from Etsy. You know, had to do it for the one time. It has my name on it. It says BSN RN with a little cute stethoscope on there with the EKG heart rhythm. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. I'm so happy and blessed and grateful to be in this position. I do start working soon, so y'all can expect to see those kind of vlogs on my channel. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Thumbs it up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye guys.